Okay, so I'm in your ad dashboard. I've set it for the last 30 days. And we're going to go through each product here one at a time. I have a little bit of a sore throat today, so let me just move that a little and click on here. Go take a look at the targeting. Okay. So this one has some products that we've targeted that are probably similar to your book. Let me just scroll over and take a look at how it's performing. So the first thing that I do, Zoe, is I come here and look at the spend, right? The ones that I want to see, how much have you spent over the last 30 days?
Mm-hmm.
I want to look at the cost per click. So you've spent 41 cents a click for 22 different clicks, right? And of those 22, only one has purchased. So that's what this ACOS percentage is. How much have you paid versus how much you made or sold? So $9.12 over or divided by $12.99. That's why the fraction is 70.21. Our goal is to try to get it down as low as we can. Now, if it's 70.21, I'd like the ACOS to be about half that. So when I look at this cost per click of 41 cents, if I have that, so maybe 21, 22 cents, now when we get clicks at that number, this should be converting at a point where the ACOS is lower. Now I don't know if we'll get clicks at that amount or not. We might not, but it's going to give us something that's an opportunity to be profitable.
Okay.
Right? We don't want to keep overdoing with the ACOS percentage.
Okay.
So now this next one here, this is 22%. That's really good. We're paying 53 cents a click. So we're paying more, but yet we're making more, right? So out of 17 clicks, 3 of them turned into orders. So that's called your conversion percentage, right? 3 out of 17. So 22%, this looks good. You're paying 53 cents cost per click. I would just, over here, it's at 57 cents. It's fine. So you have a little bit of room. If the Christmas season makes the bid go a little bit higher, then maybe we would say we're willing to go up to like 62 cents just to keep this coming and converting the way that it is.
Okay.
And we'll keep an eye on it. Okay.
Okay.
Next one here is 18%. Very nice. 48 cents per click, 15 clicks, 3 of them turned into orders. So here we're paying 48 cents per click. So even though you're bidding 57, do you understand that they don't charge you 57? This is our way of saying we're willing to pay up to 57 cents.
Okay.
But if the bid is not there, that's like me saying, I'm at an auction. I'm willing to pay up to $40 for this. But it sells for 20. That's what I get it at. That's where the auction stops. So that if you think about it, that's kind of how bidding works.
Okay.
So again, we could look at this and say, do we want to go up to 62 because it's converting well? Why not? Give it a little bit of room, because we are expecting, as we move forward closer to Christmas time, bids do tend to climb up. So the auction, I would expect it to go up a little bit higher for this. Those ones that I've turned down to 2 cents, that's because we spent enough money to know and enough clicks to see that it's just not converting. Right. So there's no need of continuing to do that. Now over here, again, $4 and 10 clicks, no conversions. We don't want to keep bleeding money on this. So I call this like a bleeding keyword. It just keeps charging you and it's not converting. Okay. So that's when we go back in here and turn it down to 2 cents. Why turn it down to 2 cents instead of just turning it off? Because maybe there are 2 or 3 orders out there that just haven't hit the dashboard yet. And so if we leave it at 2 cents, we'll see things come in And we'll be able to say, oh, wait a minute, we had some conversions here. We can go back and adjust that. Where if you turn it off, you won't see any more data about that keyword. Okay?
Okay.
So this one here, 35%, that's about right where we would expect things to be. It's okay at 51 cents. We'll leave it. Things are fine. I wouldn't want to make it go up anymore. We'll just leave it there. Next one, $4.43, no conversions. What would you do with this one, Zoe?
I would probably make it like 2 cents.
Very good. Okay, perfect. Next, we have this one here. We've got one conversion on, and it's at 30%. So what do you think about this one?
I'd probably leave it there.
Yep, exactly right. We've got one here. Oh, did I just do that one? Yep, okay. So now we've got one here. We've spent $3.71, 8 clicks, no conversions. What do you do with this?
I'd put that one back down to 2 cents.
Very good. See, you know this stuff more than you think. So
Yeah.
that's why I hope you don't mind. Like I really want to teach you and train you what
Right.
to do, so that when you do go in and check in between when we're not together, you can do some of this for yourself as well.
Yeah. We just explained it perfectly too.
Okay, good. So as I'm going through and coaching you through it, it gives you an opportunity to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and have more confidence in knowing in between if you're going to go in and make some changes. I would say once a week, block off some time, go in and tweak your ads. If you can do it twice a week, great. Have like 3 or 4 days, give it 3 or 4 days in the middle, but it gives you a little bit more opportunity. At least once, going in once a week is even just fine. I don't do my ads more than once a week.
Okay.
So here we are. Let's take a look at these last couple here. All right, so we've got 13%. That's really good. Out of 7 clicks, 2 orders. That's the kind of conversion we want to have. I'm interested in finding out, what is this book? So if we really want to know, we could either go into the search terms and look for it, or we could just hop on Amazon and say, and let's go see, just by pasting that ID in here, it will find it for us. So we'll see a grandparent's keepsake album. Nice. So you see grandparent keepsake album.
Right.
Are there other grandparent keepsake albums you might want to target? Or do you have grandparents keepsake album as a keyword maybe? Okay. So sometimes we learn something new. We learn a little bit more just by looking at what's converting really well. Okay. So this is great. It's only at 13%. We're bidding and we're paying 50 cents per click. What would you do with this one?
Let me say, I'd probably just leave it the same.
Well, so one of the things, we bid at 57, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things that I'm noticing here is it's converting really well. So that tells me I don't want to lose. I want like more of that. I want more conversions. I want more impressions. Okay. So right now we've got 490 impressions, 7 clicks, 2 conversions, 1,000 impressions, and 1 click is typically what they see. Oh. So for 7 clicks, normally you're getting 7,000 impressions to get 7 clicks, right? Okay. So this is really, really good. And it's only 13%. So you can afford to pay more. Okay. And when you bump this bid up, let's just say we put it at like, I don't know, put it up 10 cents, 67 or 68, that's fine. Now we're going to hopefully generate more impressions that will help us get more conversions and more sales. Okay. And as Amazon sees that you're getting more impressions and people are clicking and loving it and buying it, Amazon says, oh, that book, these people searching for these terms that have this background and buying history, I need to match them up more often. So you give Amazon more to learn, to know about your book. We get more impressions and it will continue to grow.
Okay.
What did we learn about the experience we just had here? In this, even though this ad says 60% ACOS, we have some winners here. Like we have some real winners. And when you're first starting off your ads, you might go a couple months and still see, well, I'm spending on terms that aren't converting. True, but as we turn those that are not converting off and we bump up bids on the ones that are working, that's the adjustment that we need to make in order to get your ads maximize performance.
Okay.
And then the ACOS will come down, your book sales will go up, and everything will continue to work in your favor.
Okay.
Okay.
The ones on here that don't have information, they have those little dashes in the last 3 columns. What does that mean? It
means that you have not had any sales.
Okay.
Right? Because these columns, let's look at these columns. It is orders, sales, and ACOS.
Oh.
So that means let's just look at this next one here. So this 25%, 55 cents, this is 57. We'll just leave that one alone. It's fine.
Right.
These here, we've got clicks, but no buys.
Right. So
we spent, $3, $3, almost $3. As we look at this, like the best selling ones that are really clicking for you, for every 7 clicks, you've got a couple orders. So let's just say six clicks, you've got an order. 7 clicks, 2 orders. 7 clicks, 1 order. 9 clicks, 1 order. So I would say anything and this puts you right about where you want to be. So anything that's got, 9 clicks or more and with no orders, it's just not converting, and we want it to be converting even better than that. But by the time you hit 9, if you have no orders, look at this one, you got 15 clicks, 3 orders. So every 5 clicks, you're getting an order.
Right.
Perfect. That's what we want to see. By the time you hit 6, 7, 8, 9, if it's not converting, it's probably not going to convert. So we would turn those off, and I would go in here and I would turn these off because you've got the 6 clicks, 5 clicks, and nothing's happened. Okay. So some people will say, oh, I'll give it a little bit more time. Maybe I'll let it go to 9 clicks before I turn it off. And, but we're good. We're going to save it. And if some of these have turned into orders that just haven't hit here yet, which can happen, like the dashboard can be a few days behind. So maybe next time you come in here, if you see, whoa, wait a minute, we've got some conversions over here and I have this down at 2 cents. So look at it again and say, what's happened? Okay, now what does this new updated dashboard tell me about this keyword? Is it something that I want to move forward with, or is it something that I just want to leave as is?
Okay. But for now, we would just put it to like 2 cents if
Correct.
we see nothing.
We want to stop the bleeding. We want to spend less. We want to make more. And so the fact that some of these things like 8 clicks, no conversions, no, we're not having that. We can see that your book, when we get the right keyword terms and the right targets, are converting at a much higher rate. So why waste money on things that aren't going to convert that high? Okay, 18, 17, beautiful. We love this. 48 cents, 37. Like we could go up a little bit on these just to give it a little bit more breathing room. Let Amazon give it a little bit more, give us a little more impressions. Let them know we're really serious about these high performing keywords. And let's see what happens with this. This one's it's converting at 32 cents. So I'm just going to bump it by 10 cents. Not like huge like the others. Here we get down here now, it's 5 clicks, no conversions. We might want to give it a little bit more time, but I mean, I'd probably be more apt to just turn it to 2 cents.
Okay.
These others that we haven't yet spent the $2, they're still at only 4 clicks. I think let's give it time and go back in and maybe take a look at these next time. So now I'm scrolling down and I'm like, okay, I'm all right with the spending so far. Oh, look at this. We have one that converted over here. 3 clicks, 1 conversion. Love it. Love to see that continue to happen. We're currently spending 52 cents per click to get the conversions. We're only at 52 cents. So there's no like higher room that we have. Like that's our high bid. That's what we're spending. So let's give this one a little bit more room to grow and for, to raise up, get some more impressions from Amazon and keep things going.
Okay.
Okay. Now down here again, this is great. One click, one order. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that
right?
would be
So
great. Yeah. Look
these
at
are the
the ACOS, 4.39%. Boy, that would be nice. That would be
I
nice.
love
Yeah.
that. It's 100% conversion.
Yeah,
I'm just
we like that.
curious to see what the book is. So I'm going to go in here. It is Grandpa Magic. So these grandparent books are converting really nicely, right?
Yep.
It doesn't look like it's the same style of book. It just happens to be that people that are looking for grandparent books, there's not all that many to choose from. So you're giving them great options. They probably bought both of them, or they looked at this one and were like, I want something that's more sweet family like. And then they saw yours and like, got it. They just get it.
Cool.
So these other books, I think we're good. Oh, wait, we're only at 1 to 50. The other thing, once we've kind of gone and scrolled through and we're not worried about looking at the spend, sometimes I'll come in and say, let me just put the orders at the top so that I can just take a look and see if there's anything else that maybe I haven't seen yet. Because you can scroll through 250 words, keywords one at a time. But by just kind of going through this, now we're going to see all the things that have converted. You could do this if you wanted to, for example, like make a note of all of these things that are converting well. Sometimes people will take those that are converting well and put them into like a golden keyword ad that says like, these are the ones that are really converting. I'm going to crank more money on those. Maybe I'll add a higher budget and see what I can do, because it's proven itself. I've got 3 orders, 2 orders, 5 orders, 10 orders on these keywords. So, that's one way to go through it. The other is I also look at it in this order just to make sure I didn't miss anything here. This is the last one, 25%, 55 cents. This is okay. 4%. Ooh, that looks really good. But it's at the same 57 cents. So it's got a low number of impressions. We want more impressions because this converted 100%. We want to see it keep going. So we can go here and we can bump it up another 10 cents and see, because it's such a low ACOS, we have some room to go with this. And, maybe next week we look at it, the ACOS will have changed, maybe more impressions and less conversions. We don't know what's going to happen, but at the very least, we can make a decision based on what we know by looking at what has happened so far. Now we've got the 18% here. We're going to look at the cost per click is 48 cents. We've got a bid of 62, so it has room to go up if needed. It's at a decent ACOS. We can leave that. Next, same thing, 37 to 42. It's got some room to grow. It's fine. $12.99 here, 30.56. I would, probably leave it. I wouldn't like bump it up any higher than that, because I'd like to keep things at that or lower if we can. Now, the one thing that we haven't looked at and I want to have a good picture of is your Ingram Spark numbers as well. And do you know why I'm asking about Ingram Spark, Zoe?
Well, because it's advertising on there too. If it's a hardcover book, it says the past 30 days I have 11 all grandparents love their grandbabies sold. All granddaddies love their grandbabies is 5 books. All mommies love their babies 1, and all daddies love their babies is 1.
Okay. So those sales have to be factored in. And remember, when we go look at the Amazon, so when people are looking at this book, they might come in here. Our ads are driving them here, But if they don't choose to get the paperback or the Kindle, it's not going to show up in your dashboard.
Right.
Any purchases of the hardcover will come in on Ingram Spark and they won't be counted. So sometimes a higher ACOS is what you'd expect because they're not counting all of these other things. So just
Right.
something that we need to also kind of consider as we're doing things as well. All right, so now we're off of that campaign. That was just, oh, I wanted to do one more thing.
Oh, can we screen share again?
Oh, yes. I wanted to do one more thing. When I'm going in, and so we've made the adjustment everywhere, but I want to go back in here and just remind you to also go in and check your search terms. Search terms, this shows you all of the different books, targeting things in a product ad. We're putting the ASIN, and then when somebody is browsing this book, they might see our ad in the midst of it and they might click on that. And sometimes it's something that says, it might be in the middle of the page, right? More prominent. Sometimes it's at the end saying other products related to this item. And then people can see that your book is there as well. But this gives us an opportunity to see like what books are converting. We've got 10 clicks on this book right here. It didn't convert a lot.
Our bid was 2 cents on there, unless we just changed it.
Oh, okay. So that we got a lot of clicks and not a lot of conversion.
Right.
But what I would love to see is those things that have converted. Let's just order it by that and see. Let's have these float to the top. So grandparents are great. How to babysit a grandparent's keepsake album, memories for my grandchild. These are all apples and pumpkins. So these are like really good ones. You might also want to consider as titles. So when we do the keywords, we've got keyword ads together. Right now we're targeting in this product ad, the ASIN, but we could also target the title. For example, this one, how to babysit a grandma. We could have that as a keyword in the title on a different ad, right? So it's good to kind of make note of what's converting, make sure that you're targeting those. Maybe I would target the titles, I would target the authors, so that in your other ads, we might be able to use what we're learning here about what converts really well and then incorporate that.
Okay.
Yep. So this gives us a good opportunity. And we can also see the other thing that this does, if we decide, let's just say we decide we want to do something with this. For example, in some ads, they're keywords that they're showing us, not products, because it's a different kind of ad. You can use these check boxes to say, oh, I want to target that. I want to target that. I want to target that. And then at the top, you'll be able to click and it'll automatically target the keyword phrase maybe that you weren't already targeting. The other thing with this, you can come here and you can, for those that are, you get 22 clicks, only one sale. That's not a great conversion rate. So you might want to say, you know what, I want to make that a negative keyword. I don't want you to show my book. I don't want to pay for it, whatever. When this book comes up, you could add it as a negative. Okay. So there are some terms that maybe don't do as well. So some people do use negative keywords in a way to say, look, I don't want to bother with this keyword again in any form. What we're doing by lowering bid to 2 cents, if we can get a bid at if we can get something for 2 cents, it's not going to kill us to have another 20 clicks or something. But again, that's how you can use negative targeting to also continue to lower your spend as well. Okay. It's all about spending more wisely, turning off what's bleeding and just spend that we don't need to do. Are you feeling a little more confident as you've kind of gone through this with me to be able to, that if you look at it yourself in a few days, you'll be able to make some good decisions?
Yes.
That's the goal with these kind of mentoring sessions. All right, so we see the keywords. This is a keyword ad, and we're seeing the things that are converting higher at the top because we're looking at, because of the order that I had when I ordered things by this column, which is fine. We can look at it first. So this ad, the ones that are converting with some really decent numbers, right? We're not 70s or higher. And as we look at this, but the whole ad looks not that great, right? It's way overdoing. You're spending more than you're selling.
Right.
So that means this ad has a lot of keywords that we're spending money on that we need to get turned off, or it can also mean it might be a brand new ad where we've got a lot of keywords that are spending a little bit on each, and there's just so many keywords that it can look very lopsided at first. And if you, to an untrained eye, you might go, oh, that's it, I got to turn this off, I'm at 155%, when in reality it might be just fine, just the way it is. But let's see first. For these, we've got 51 cents here. Let's go down. I'm just gonna move this over a little so we can see. So our bid is 52 cents. It's spending 51 cents. What would you do in this first case? 35% ACOS.
Got 9 and 1. I'm sorry, it's 50 and it's up to 52. I might leave it there or make it a little higher.
I think the fact that it's at 35% ACOS, we don't want to go higher than that.
Okay.
So we'll just leave it. But it's at an okay ACOS. I'm not worried about it. I'd monitor a little bit longer. Of course, it's only one conversion out of 9 clicks, but the 35% is okay. Now, if this continues to to convert at that rate, and you have more than just one order, you might want to just bring it down so that we can make this lower, or say, you know what, Velveteen Rabbit's not a good keyword. I'm just gonna not worry about that one. Now, this next one here is 19.63. So Chris Ferry for babies. This must be the author's name, a baby book. So this here, it's converting at 20%, 1 sale out of 5 clicks. What do you think we should do with this one? You're at 52 cents. You're spending 51 cents per click, and it was up to 52 cents. What would you do with this case?
Maybe go up 10 cents.
And you know what I would say? We're at 19, so I might all the way, 10 cents would be okay, but I'd probably do maybe do 57 or something. Not give it some leeway and see what happens.
Okay.
But it's almost at 20%, and I'd like to keep it around 25. I don't want it to jump up that much higher. So I would just be a little bit more aggressive there, or I should say less aggressive. The next one here is at 14%, the Kissing Hand book. So this is converting at 1 out of 4 clicks. Again, it's a low amount of data because it's only 1 click, so it's hard to make decisions on so little data, but it's early in the process. We're spending 47 cents out of the 52 cents we're bidding. What do you think about that one?
Leave it the same because it has a little room to grow.
Great, good job. And this one is great, 7%, 2 clicks, 1 buy. The Boss Baby. Who would have thought?
Right.
Somebody that's searching for Boss Baby ends up seeing your book and saying, "Hey, wait, that's cool. I want to grab one."
Yeah.
Right? So incredible. But this does have some room. Cost per click is 50 cents, and right now you're bidding 52 cents. So what do you think about what should we do with that one?
I would put a little bit more into that one, maybe 10 cents or more.
Okay, good. Perfect. You're doing well. Very, very well done. So now we've kind of looked at the orders and what's converting so far. We've made some adjustments to those. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to order by spend, and let's go see what keywords are you spending the most money on. And let's make sure we start plugging up some of those holes, that anything that's a bleeding keyword, we want to do better with. So we'll ignore the ones that already have orders because we've already looked at those. Here we've got 6 clicks, no conversions. We're more than $2 spent. And some of your best converting ones are converting with less than 6 clicks. So I'm thinking turn it down to 2 cents. You could say, hey, I'm going to give it a look at it next time for it.
Mm-hmm.
But with this being so overspent, I don't want to give it too much leeway for too long. This one's already been turned down. The way I look at it, what I would say is if we've spent more than $2 or $2.50, then turn it down. Turn it down to 2 cents. This one hasn't converted. We'll be a little aggressive with shutting things down that just haven't converted the way we want them to. When you get down where you've spent less than $2, then it just really hasn't had enough time to do too much yet. So we'll give it a little bit more time. But these that are $2 or more, we're turning down. You do have a lot of keywords in this ad. This is one of the risks that we take when we add a lot of keywords, right? We're saying, let's throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what clicks. When we initially went through and set up these ads to begin with, we reverse engineered some of your competitors, right? We said, show us their keywords. Let's reverse engineer, get some of the higher search volume, lower competition. Let's find a sweet spot. In some cases, we had hundreds of keywords. So we loaded them up and we say, let's see what happens. Part of it is we want to learn. We don't know what's going to convert, what's not going to convert, right? We give it time. They're doing well for your competitors in some cases. It might not work for you. We might find some new things that do work that don't work for your competitors, right? So it's all, who knows what's going to happen. It's an investigative period when you first start your ads. So you've got to give it a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. But on the other side, when you've got hundreds of keywords loading in that you're bidding 50 cents
Right.
a click, 52 cents a click, right? Because when we started these ads, we wanted them to hurry up and catch, right? We don't want to start at 14 cents and then we don't have all year. If this was January, I'd say, let's start low and see what things will convert at a low rate.
Okay.
I have found most of the time when you're putting ads together and it's not approaching Christmas season, or like right now it's Halloween time, there's lots of Halloween books that bids are really going up. But as we approach holidays, we're going to pay a lot more for keywords because so many people that weren't even running ads are saying, hey, I need to get ads going. Otherwise, I'm not going to sell any of my books for Christmas, right? So you've got this influx of people. And in a very short period of time, you're going to run into that if they're not already turning their ads on for Christmas. Okay. So I knew that my normal bid for a children's book of like 32 cents to get started wasn't going to give you very much impressions. It wasn't going to give us the look we needed. So we said 52 cents, let's get it moving. Let's see what we can do with that. And yes, we had a lot of keywords, very little time to get your books some traction before Christmas. So that's why you're seeing contacted me a couple times and said, April, what do I do? The ACOS is really high. But yet, if you look at this ad, it's just that there's a lot of keywords that are just getting started, just getting traction. This has 987 keywords.
Right.
So we threw a lot at it. And you notice that we don't have a lot of ads, right? Mm-hmm. But the ads that we do have, we loaded it up with some good keywords. And some people don't have the appetite for that. They worry, I don't have that initial investment, but if you can bear it and be patient through it, you're going to see at the end so much benefit of being able to go through this and see what works, what doesn't, and start building this golden list of keywords, because that's where you want to throw your money as you learn more and more about what works for your books.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yep.
Oh, I want to go in and take a look at search terms because it's a little bit different. I'm going to go back into that ad that I just X'd out of, and I'm going to go to this search terms area. And when we look at search terms, we see, I want to show you a couple things here. We've got customer search term, a bad case of stripes. Keywords, now these are the keywords you're paying for. So a bad case of stripes is the exact same thing. So we have an exact match. They said, yep, this goes with our book. We're going to pay the 52 cents for those 2 clicks. Now, when you look at this, there are going to be some that are not exactly what you had put here, and that might surprise you. Right now, these look like they're the same. Oh, children's book, Shel Silverstein. Now, if we looked at this and we saw like, oh, wow, there's 10 people that clicked on this keyword phrase or that searched through this. Right now, it's only 1, but let's just imagine this was like some new term or something that we didn't know about. Maybe it got caught in our keywords because we have a broad search term, or something that we've targeted is in that bigger phrase. So we might look through and go, oh, wait, that's a great opportunity. Let's add that as a keyword phrase. And this isn't going to kill us to add it, right? We just check it off. But in some cases, it can really open your eyes to whole new areas that you can search for. I was talking with one author, we were going through her ads, and they had a search term was Montessori. And we kept seeing Montessori something. And I was like, what is this? Montessori is a school. I know that. But evidently there's some parenting methods around Montessori that are very common with people that are also looking for like peaceful parenting and mindfulness books. So for that particular author, discovering that keyword and then opening up to a whole new area we hadn't discovered before, these things happen, but only if you look for it. So here's Chris Ferry books for babies. So this is, why not target these? Typically, if you look at this, Chris Ferry is just an author's name. And we are bidding 52 cents on the author's name. But when you look at Chris Ferry books for babies, it's a more longer tail keyword. So there's more words. That's what we call long tail keyword phrases. So this will cost us less money than this because it's longer. There's more words. We can do phrase. And then we'll find people that are looking for this exact term. Now you can already see that it's had 2 clicks. So at least 2 people found your book from this search term. So we're going to click to add it. Over here, Chris Ferry for babies, we have here. So we got that. But if this was not one we targeted, if it was just Chris Ferry, and this was a new keyword search term that a number of people found you on, you'd want to add that as well.
Feminist baby book. What?
Feminist baby book. Yeah, that's one of the, it's like a girl power kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was a term that I had not discovered before except in keywords. And then I was like, okay, so now, I was using words like girl power and stuff like that. Right. Now I know feminist book. Yep. Is another word that people are finding it. It's weird how these things come in and out of trend with some of these search terms.
So when you go in here and you're looking on your customer search terms and you see that might be good for you and you click it on, does it automatically go into your ad?
So what I'm doing is I'm clicking them on. Now I go up at the top and there's a couple of additional buttons that have been enabled. I can click add as a keyword or I can add as negative keyword.
Oh, okay.
So right now I'm clicking the ones that I want added as a keyword. So let me click on this. Now it comes up with the ones that are here that I've put together and it wants to know which one of these do you want, exact, phrase, broad. If I come in here and just do custom bid because I want to use the same, 52 cents that we started with. I'm not typically somebody that wants to do broad. What it'll do is every other weekend, if it's treated in a broad way, anything that has the word other in it could potentially get scooped up, right? It can be things that aren't even related. So I tend to stay away from broad. Some people have luck with broad keywords. I've just never been one of them. In the future, you might want to play around with that. But for this, I'm just checking off exact and phrase and then putting the amount that we have bid for this and then do add keywords. So then it pops in. So you got 10 additional keywords added.
So when the page that we were just on and it had the little triangle with the exclamation point in there and it didn't have an amount,
Mhm.
do you know what that was for? What that
Yeah,
meant?
because when I clicked on it, so let's just try this again for a second. When I click to add the keyword, so it says the keyword match type combination already exists in this group. So we already have this keyword, so
Okay.
you don't need to add it, is basically what
Okay.
it's saying for this.
Okay.
So sometimes you have one or more keywords that won't go in because
Hmm.
they're already there and the system already knows you already have this, don't have to worry about it. Okay?
Okay.
So that's why I say go through these, see if there's anything you can learn. If you do find something, um, then take that information and go and find more keywords with it, or go find other books that maybe apply to it. And Kissing Hands children's book was one, right? Two people found your book through this phrase, and one of them purchased it. That was wonderful. But if the Kissing Hand children's book wasn't the exact, if it was slightly different, we'd want to add that.
Okay.
So just something to think about as you're going through.
Okay.
Now we're going to go to all campaigns and let's go back and see. So we've got the keyword campaigns. Even though it looks terrible, 155% ACOS, it's really not. We saw it, right? We had about a handful of keyword terms that are converting well. It's just not a mature ad. It's not run long enough. We turned off some that weren't working well. So we've got, some good information here, and we're able to just move forward.
Okay.
So now this is a brand ad. So the brand ads, you remember what a brand ad is versus a sponsored ad?
Um, I'm not sure.
Okay. One of the things that, the naming convention that I use is like what's the book, what's the type of ad it is, like auto or, so I'm just going to go in back for a second, just so that as you create new ads, you kind of get a little bit of information about how I do it. And it doesn't mean you have to follow my method, but just have some kind of method to your naming convention. Because here we can see this is babies ad. It's probably all mommies love their babies, right? Babies ad. It's a product ad. It's 52 cents is what the bid we started at, and we created it on 7/15. Baby Love is the whole series. So we probably created the one. This is the sponsored product ad with the whole series, 52 cents on this date. Brand Baby Love tells me that that's a brand ad. This one is a daddy, all daddies love their babies, and it's an automatic ad. So we've got a couple different brand ads here, and I want to show you what a brand ad is. Books for toddlers. Let's see if we can get a brand ad to kick up. Okay, so this here at the very top of the page is a brand ad.
Okay.
It is something that is a special ad that this place put together. Let me show you another example of one is Ninja Books. Ninja Books, so usually Mary Nin, she does a lot of brand ads. When I was helping her with managing her ads, this was something that, a brand ad, and these are sponsored ads, sponsored product ads. You see one product, that's what they're doing, and it could be anywhere within the page. Like we see here, some down here, sponsored ads. This is a video ad, sponsored in the middle of the page. We can also find sponsored ads as we scroll down towards the bottom. I think we'll find some more sponsored ads. So regardless, I mean, the one thing I love about the brand ad is obviously it's at the very top of the page. The other thing is you get to choose. You must have 3 things to advertise. So once you hit the 3 book mark, I was like, okay, now we can put a nice brand ad together for you.
Right.
In Mary's case, she is tying these 3 on her brand also to her her Amazon store. So she has box sets in the store, books and hardcovers, right? Books for ages 3 to 11. And then she has hardcovers. So she's able, as people click on this brand ad, they're going to be brought to her store, which gives another opportunity for her to sell. But again, brand ads, right? So let's see, mommy and baby books. Just trying to see how your competitors are doing. Look at that. So this is the type of brand ad. I mean, it's obviously very much a brand. You can see the familiarity of the books. They're very similar. You have this brand logo over here and a little tagline. So that's what we've done with your brand ads as well.
Okay.
Now, obviously, if we were doing better with them and we had been running them longer, we would own mommy and baby books as a keyword, and your ads would come up in the same way. That's what we always try to strive for, in the same way that when somebody types ninja books, Mary's books come up, Mary Nin's books come up. Okay, so now that we know what a brand ad is, now we're going to take a look at the performance of this brand ad. And let's take a look at the keywords here. Okay, so the ones, we've got 45 clicks. Right now it's ordered by, let me just order it by spend because I just want to make sure we turn off those things that are not going well. Right now, the most we've spent on any term with this brand ad is $3.54. Conversions, we would like to see more than one conversion out of 7 clicks, but 1 out of 7 will keep you still in a reasonable place, especially if you're also driving sales to the hardcovers. So this is good. This is fine. Now, everything under it, we haven't yet gotten to the $2 mark. So I wouldn't necessarily go in and start turning anything off because we haven't let it run far enough. So some people that just look at these numbers might go, okay, this is a decent ACOS. If this was 100%, so now that we know we don't have any bleeding keywords to worry about, the next thing would be like, let's look at the sales, the ones that have sold. Let's take a look and see if there's anything we need to adjust here. So the new baby, we have a 2% conversion rate. It says 1 click, 2 orders. So they probably ordered 2 different books of yours. They clicked once and they ordered 2 of your books, which is amazing. The bid amount is 52 cents. You're bidding 52 cents here. So what would you do with this?
I'd add extra, maybe like 68 cents.
Yep, perfect. You are getting this, Zoe. Very good.
Okay.
Now the next one is 7%. Cost per click right now is 46 cents. You've got the keyword bid is at 52 cents. But you're only spending at 7.01 for the ACOS. So there's a lot of room. Even though you do have a little room here, I think I'd like to see more than 43 impressions. I'd like to really bump this up. What do you think?
Yeah, 68.
We'll do 68 again and see what happens there. And once Amazon gets it, that these books should be fed for these keywords, they really know your book, they really understand, you're going to get ranked for organic sales, and you're not going to have to pay this kind of bid all the time. Like, this is new author trying to let Amazon get to know you and your book, right? So eventually, and I remember talking with one author, the author of Seeds and Trees came to visit our author group, and he was saying that when he first launched that book, he budgeted about $2,000. He spent about $2,000 within the first couple of months. And then he was able to turn his ads almost off completely and eventually just turn them off because he had ranked for all of these keywords organically, having spent that kind of money on ads, and they just kept selling. Now, granted, he has an awesome book. They're beautiful. It resonated really well. The market, once they saw it there, they bought it and they kept buying it, right? So that doesn't happen for everybody, but it is a good understanding that you've got to invest something to help things take off. And then if there's a market for it and the market embraces your book or books in this case, then it's going to continue selling. And then you can start pulling back on what you're paying for, those keywords that you're paying for. Okay. So last one is 27.25%, 51 cents cost per click, and you're bidding 52 cents. What do you think?
I'd probably leave it there.
Very good. That's what I would do. So this is it for this one. We're almost done. We're going to go through this process with the ads. Let me go here. Last one, I think. Oh, the automatic ad. We're going to take a look at an automatic ad. So automatic ad, do you understand what the difference is between an automatic versus a keyword ad?
No.
Okay. This is for all daddies love their babies. And when we first get started with Amazon, we don't necessarily know what's going to resonate with buyers. Amazon knows a lot about people that are shopping on Amazon's site. And they also know a lot about our book. When we first list our book, we give them a title, a subtitle, a description, 7 keyword phrases, categories that are also important to us that our book fits into. So they take that information that they know about all of our books, about your book, and then they know April Cox loves children's books. Maybe as they're searching and you're basically saying, Amazon, I'm going to put an automatic ad out there. I'm not going to give you any bounds. I'm just going to let you do your thing. And you put it in front of the people that you think will buy my book. So they put it out there, and then it helps us also discover what kinds of people is this resonating with. You might find whole different keywords, different books that are linked to it. So it gives us a lot of opportunity to discover things that maybe we wouldn't have found ourselves. So I always recommend that you at least have one automatic ad for each one of your books. For this one, we're going to go in and take a look. When you look at an automatic ad, you'll see 4 different columns, 4 different rows here. Loose match says, we'll show your ad to shoppers who use the search terms loosely related to your products. Substitutes, will show it for products that are similar to yours. A close match will show your ad to shoppers who use search terms closely related to your products. Compliments will show to people who view detailed pages of products that complement yours. So if I'm have an activity book, maybe they'll show it to somebody who's looking for markers or crayons or things like that, or something that they think is related to my book. Okay. So it's difficult to understand exactly the differences here, but if you have any questions or you can't remember, you can highlight these little icons here. Okay. So what we would just do is take a look at what's converting, what's not. In this first case, we've got 89.15%. You've got 16,000 impressions. So 51 clicks is a lot of clicks on those impressions, right, but the conversion rate's not as high as we want it to be. Right. Now, the cost per click here is only 23 cents, but it's still too high for all of this. So I previously brought this down to 14 cents, and I'd probably just leave it there. Okay. Because in the last 30 days, we still got 16,000 impressions. I think we still need to let this automatic ad continue to try to learn more about what's going to convert. Okay. The other option, while it's running and kind of piddling down a little bit, we might want to just put a brand new automatic ad and say, let's see if that one will do something or find something, because now Amazon knows more about your books than it did back then. And so just sometimes some ads that we create just don't take very well, or they don't perform very well. But it doesn't mean automatic ads are never going to perform for you. Sometimes you just, you know what, I'm not really loving this. I'm going to go do a whole brand new automatic ad. And that's what I think I might recommend for this one. I'm not really loving what it's doing. It's got lots of impressions. It's just not managing very well. Right. So my recommendation would be to just turn this ad off. It's just not doing anything that's valuable. Okay. So I'm turning this automatic ad off for all daddies. Okay. And the next or the last one here is a brand ad. And I'm not quite sure why we had 2 brand ads, but maybe it had to do with now you've got the grandparent books. I think I might, and one of these ads, I created a grandparent book, the ones with like the 3 grandparent books all together.
Is there a way to see what that ad looks like? I mean, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you look at, let me just see, uh, campaign settings. Yeah. I've got to see this. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, creative. So when you go into here and you click creative, it'll show you the ad itself. So these are the ones with the grandparents. So I created another one. I was like, okay, we've got 3 grandparent books.
Right.
Maybe we can do a brand ad with grandparents, and let's see if perhaps that's going to convert better. And right now there's no sales. It hasn't really done much. So that tells me either this is just a bad ad, which happens, like it's not doing much of anything
No, it's not. Yeah, because I know
at
I saw
all.
that at one point, and I was like, why isn't it doing? I mean, it's doing nothing, which is
Right.
kind of
Now,
odd.
and there's no reason for it because like
Right.
how to read to a grandma, like
Right.
this is 43 cents to start, right? Now,
Right.
if I had a 56-cent bid here and I'm looking down and all of these were like starting at 75 cents, I'd be like, okay, we don't have the bid up high enough. You know what I might do, especially seeing the conversion for your grandparent books,
Mm-hmm.
let's adjust the bid and let's just see if we bump this up to 62 cents, just to see, because that seemed to be okay with the way your grandparent books were converting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can get some impressions. If next time we get together and look at these ads, this isn't doing anything, or next time you check on them a week from now,
Mm-hmm.
if this is still not doing anything, I would turn it off and then we'll try a brand new one again. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with what we do. It
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't take. And so we just say, okay, no worries, we'll start again. Sometimes Amazon just gets weird about certain ads we put together. There's no rhyme or reason which ones we're going to take off, which ones are not. So we do the best we can to just keep trying. You don't want to give up. And right now you only have 4 ads to worry about. As you get more and more comfortable, like we turned off one of the brand ads, right?
Right.
So maybe what I would recommend
Mm-hmm.
is to do a new automatic ad and do a new brand ad and give that a try and see how that works for you. And
Okay.
then when you come back together, we can do a little bit, you can ask more questions and see, but I'd like to see you walk through that process and see if you can't use the knowledge you've gained so far with our time together
Okay.
and give it a little test for yourself.
Okay. So when you do, so if I do a brand ad, could I use the same books like because
Good.
you had the grandparent. So even if it was the ad that wasn't taken well, and I just did the same ad again but made it a new one, it could take well. It could go well.
Good. Yeah, it could. One of the things that I'm going to do for you that's going to help you with this is I'm going to go to grandparent books for kids. I'm going to search for that term. And we've got this big list of grandparent books, right? These are your competitors. These are the books that as we see, they're converting really well for you. So I have a tool called Helium. I'm going to click on that tool, and I have part of that tool is an ASIN grabber, which basically just gives me a way of taking this big list that we've got 100 or more books on this list that were returned on page 1. And this is analyzing them all and putting them in a list for me. So just with a couple of clicks here, now I have a list of 110 books that I'm going to download right now. And I'm going to email you so that when you put your brand ad together,
Mm-hmm.
you can target some of these. You see the names of the books, you see their ASINs, you see, let me see, you've got brands. This gives you a good list. The another tool that I really like is Publisher Rocket, and I'm going to do I'm going to pull those grandparent books. So I'm going to go to AMS keyword search. This is Publisher Rocket. And I'm going to put grandparent books for kids. And click Go Get 'em Rocket, and it's going to give me a list of all of the similar books, right? But in this case, I've got the title, the author name, if you wanted to target the author name, and you've got the ASIN here. So when I export this list, you'll be able to grab the title name if you want it, as well as the author name, as a way of really getting some good keywords. Like this would make my grandparents love me is a great keyword phrase. It's a title of a book, yes. You can't put it as one of your 7 keyword phrases because it is a name of a book.
Right.
However, you can put it into ads. You can target author names. You can target your competitor titles and your competitor ASINs.
Okay.
In product ads. So I'm going to export this as well for you. And save that. And I'm going to send both of these to you.
So you said product ad, but that's a brand ad, you mean? The same thing?
So product ads allow you to identify the ASINs.
Okay.
And it will. So let me just kind of go through an overall view. An automatic ad, you don't need anything. You just say automatic. You highlight your book and you click the right book and then you launch it. It doesn't want anything else. You just say automatic.
Okay.
A product ad or sponsored product ad, you can do keywords, you can do categories, or you can do products. And so all of those 3 things are different options when you're setting up your ads. And if you watch back the previous video where I kind of walk through that, I also have a good one on Amazon that you can go and it steps you through step by step how to create each one of these different kind of ads. I'll copy that in the email that I send you. I'll put a link to that video if you want to just refresh your memory.
Okay.
But in there, you'll be able to choose the different types and then grab these great keyword lists to be able to give yourself something to use as a starting point.
Cool. Thank you.
I'm very impressed. You're doing well. You're understanding this. And I know you've reached out to me a couple of times saying, I think I need to turn something off. The ads but I think you're getting it a little bit more that,
Right.
don't have to panic. It takes time. And over a few months period, it's very common for things to get better and better. And then once things are going and Amazon really understands your book, you can kind of let them go. Ads will start here. They do have like a natural progression. At a point when they've been running a while, they might start to go down where you'll see yourself having less impressions. And at that point, you can say, oh, I see that kind of is living its life. It's starting to go on the downturn. Maybe it's time for me to spawn a new ad like it, maybe not copy it, but same basic type of ad to make sure that you have one in its place that can get started so that as the other one starts to go down with its natural life, you can eventually just turn it off and you've got something else replacing it.
Okay. That sounds good. Thank you
so much. I hope this was helpful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, have a great evening.
You too. I know you got a couple more hours.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.